nothing will impede our march toward victory. Long live the Empire! Long live the Empire!
The Mirror Universe is a place where, you know, we first visited in the original series. It was essentially an inverted version of the universe that we've come to know and love. Instead of a peace-loving Federation of Planets, you have a dark, you know, Roman Empire type government.
Well, the Mirror Universe was something we wanted to do for season 4 in some capacity. Originally, we were going to use it as a way to bring back Shatner, who was, you know, in discussions with possibly bringing him in for a part in season 4. That never panned out, but we still wanted to do a 2-part Mirror Universe. The problem was how to do a Mirror Universe episode with another crossover, meaning our characters go to the Mirror Universe, and not break continuity, because in the old series, it was pretty obvious that it was a first contact, that the Mirror Universe had been discovered in that series. So how to do it without, you know, having to come up with some strange trick about why it wasn't remembered. And then we hit upon the notion of simply doing a Mirror Universe episode in the Mirror Universe, not even doing a crossover, just simply doing an Enterprise episode inside the Mirror Universe as if, you know, our universe doesn't exist.
Mania had the brilliant idea of just, well, you know what, let's not do a crossover. Let's just do a show set in the Mirror Universe entirely with those characters, which to me was brilliant. And then just, you know, all these light bulbs start going off. Well, it's the show we end up watching for this episode, which ended up becoming 2. Well, you know, this isn't really our show anymore. This is an alternate Enterprise. So we changed the opening credits and changed the music and got rid of that, you know, that tambourine slapping theme song for 2 episodes, which I think a lot of people were happy with.
And action.
We were faced with the prospect of having to build, you know, a Defiant set, and could we do a whole, you know, building bridges is very expensive. So when we made it a 2-parter, we were able to amortize it, and it gave us the funds to build the set. So we were able to build a whole brand new, you know, version of the old 1965 Star Trek bridge. With a few modifications and improvements. And my big concern, of course, was that our heroes would be coming from an Enterprise set that was built in 2005 and designed and looked somewhat more sophisticated.
I wrote part 1, and it was unclear who was going to be writing part 2, but we knew at the time that part 2 would be set on, you know, this 1960s spaceship. Well, all the Dayglow colors, and it was going to be terrific. But I wanted our characters, or at least some of them, to be wearing the original series uniforms. But how do you justify that? Well, I thought if our away team that boards the ship, which is comprised mostly of our regular characters, if they go on board and they're only wearing their spacesuits, and they're stuck on that ship when the Enterprise gets blown up, they're now stuck on the Defiant. Well, what are they going to wear? They're not going to wear their spacesuits for the entire episode. Well, they're going to have to raid the closets.
I found it in the captain's wardrobe.
What was great about an approach where our people weren't crossing over to the Mirror Universe is that, you know, you didn't have any moralizing speeches where, you know, Archer or somebody waves their finger and, you know, lectures these, you know, bad people about, well, you really ought to try this other way.
I wonder how history would have played out if Cochrane hadn't turned the tables on your invasion force. Humans might be your slaves instead of the other way around.
Even though none of our regular characters crossed over, information about them did. So, you know, this alternate, this mirror Archer sort of learns the fate of the Archer we know, and how this guy is a hero in the future and all the wonderful things he's done. And this Archer's kind of, you know, struggling. He's not even the commander of his own ship. And, you know, I thought Scott did a wonderful job just playing this really demented, angry, you know, almost psychotic character who decides not only am I good enough to command a ship, I'm gonna take over everything. I'm gonna make this my empire. So it was a lot of fun to see Scott sort of embrace this, you know, megalomaniacal role.
The reign of Emperor Jonathan Archer will have already begun.
We're not exploring any deep, meaningful subject matter in these 2. This is pure adventure, pure romp, and watching our heroes play completely opposite characters is great fun.
Bridge is yours, Captain.